2021 was indeed a momentous year. We got to see so many modern, interesting, and remarkable quirks in the space industry. From new launch vehicles like SpaceX's Starship, NASA's Space Launch System (SLS), megarocket, United Launch Alliance's ULA, Vulcan Centaur rocket, and Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket, to missions to the Moon, Mars, asteroids, and much more. But this is not the edge. A lot of exhilarating missions are expected to launch or arrive at their destination in 2022. And one of those missions is the SpaceX Starship 2022. Want to know more about it? Well, stay tuned in the video. Welcome to Elon Musk Tube. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update on SpaceX, Tesla, Starship, or anything related to the multi-talented, influential tech icon and billionaire Elon Musk. So, on the heels of SpaceX's last launch of 2021, which filled out a record-breaking year and marked the 100th prosperous Vulcan booster landing, the time has come to look at what the new year might hold for the world's most productive commercial launch provider and its workhorse rockets. SpaceX plots to fly a Starship spacecraft to orbit for the first time early next year. The company is targeting early March for its Starship orbital launch, with as many as a dozen test flights to follow in 2022. The company built its first full-size prototype of the Starship back in September 2019. In May 2021, it successfully launched and landed a full-size prototype, SN-15, to a height of around 33,000 feet. The statements, made at the joint meeting of the Space Studies Board and the Board on Physics and Astronomy, framed how the stainless steel rocket is taking shape in Texas and will shift from prototype novelty to working ship. As reported first by TechCrunch, Musk and the Joint of Meeting Space Research Boards revealed that SpaceX is intending for the first Starship orbital flight to take place sometime this year. SpaceX had been striving to launch Starship on its first orbital test flight in January or February, provided that the US Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) closed a programmatic environmental assessment (PEA) of the company's South Texas launch site by December 31st as planned. SpaceX is formulating Starship to get people and cargo to the Moon, Mars, and other deep space destinations. NASA has already enrolled for a ride, choosing Starship as the first crewed moon lander for the agency's Artemis Lunar Exploration Program. The huge vehicle comprises two fully reusable elements, a first-stage booster called Super Heavy and a 165-foot-tall, 50-meter spacecraft known as Starship. Both will be powered by SpaceX's next-generation Raptor Engine 6 for Starship and about 30 for Super Heavy. It's a project that could encourage some of SpaceX's most significant goals, first defined in 2017 under the name BFR. The Starship is a stainless steel rocket that estimates around 400 feet tall when paired with its Super Heavy booster. It's fully reusable, designed to fly up to 3 times per day. It's competent of sending up to 150 tons or 100 people into space at a time. Its use of liquid oxygen and methane as rocket fuel means astronauts can fly to Mars, refuel using the planet's resources, and either return to Earth or venture out further as part of a planet-hopping network. Both the Starship vehicle and its Super Heavy booster are now complete, and the launch pad and the tower at the company's South Texas launch site were determined to be finished off by the end of 2021. If all take off according to this strategy, the inaugural flight will place Starship in orbit for a brief period before re-entering Earth's atmosphere and splashing down in the Pacific Ocean. This data comes from unofficial manifests covered by fans and followers, who collect dozens of different reports, press releases, and rumors to generate a rough picture of upcoming launch plans. Of course, the further away any given launch is, the more likely it will be quite delayed. Even official data from SpaceX itself would not be able to accurately foretell how many launches it will conduct over a year or more, but the manifests are still useful tools for rough projections. Starship pinnacles have flown before. On roughly 6.2-mile high, leaps into the skies above Starbase, SpaceX's facility near the South Texas village of Boca Chica. But the approaching orbital test flight will be a much more ambitious initiative, launching a Starship atop a Super Heavy booster for the first time. Ultimately, Starship is designed to be a generalized transport mechanism for the greater solar system, Musk said at the event. Starship comprises 2 elements, both of which are designed to be fully and rapidly reusable. If SpaceX is skilled to recoup and reuse Starship during this year's test flights, operational missions could begin in 2023. The company plans to ultimately use Starship for crewed missions to Mars. Musk didn't shy away from concealing that there was a lot of risk and that the launch could not be victorious. But Musk said the team would at least make a lot of progress. The timing is also based on an FAA environment impact analysis of the aforementioned facility, and any uncertainties in the completion of the review could push back launch dates further. However, according to Musk, when Starship successfully makes it to orbit, the spacecraft won't take too long to become provident. As per his vision, SpaceX could sell Starship launches for less than what Falcon 9 launches charge today, in a matter of 2 years, earlier than the timeline of SpaceX's proposal for NASA's Human Landing System. Assuming the 2022 test flights are a success, Musk plans to move on to real payloads by 2023. It is doubtful whether this means SpaceX still plans to launch Japanese billionaire Yusaku Maezawa on a trip around the moon in 2023. That mission, which will also include 8 lucky competition winners, was initially detailed in 2018. The Starship is also anticipated to land humans on the moon as part of the NASA Artemis project. The agency's administrator, Bill Nelson, suggested earlier this month that the mission would likely occur no earlier than 2025. SpaceX also plans to send humans to Mars. When is unclear, at the 2017 unveiling of BFR, Musk outlined a driving timeline of delivering 2 uncrewed ships in 2022, and 2 more uncrewed ships alongside 2 crewed vessels in 2024. At the most recent event, he proposed that SpaceX could send at least 2 or 3 uncrewed Starships to clarify that the ship could land safely on the planet. But Musk doesn't simply want to stop there. He said that the ship could allow a planet-hopping network, as the ship could refuel at propellant sheds on the moon or Mars and continue on their journey. If we have a base on Mars with a high delta V, you can basically planet hop, he said. From Mars to maybe Ceres, to maybe one of the moons of Jupiter, and ultimately all the way to the outer solar system, he added. Musk even attributed the idea of sending a 100-ton object to the surface of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. Architecturally, it is capable of transporting almost any arbitrary mass to any solid surface in the solar system, he said. This could be interpreted as bringing more business to SpaceX, enabling them to build more Starships for endeavors such as space tourism or even the promised visit to Mars. If all goes according to plan, the Super Heavy booster will splash down in the Gulf of Mexico soon after liftoff, while the Starship vehicle will complete 1 loop around Earth and splash down in the Pacific Ocean, off the Hawaiian island of Kauai. We could see the launch as soon as early March because SpaceX plans to be ready when it gets the green light. FAA approval is the scheduled driver. SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk said via Twitter Wednesday, December 29th, in response to a question about the test flight's target date. This seems optimistic as the wait is finally complete and Starship is ready to launch this year. But apart from our expectations and thoughts, what do you think about this new and exciting mission SpaceX has planned in 2022? Let us know in the comments below. And most importantly, if you want to be updated on every single topic related to Elon Musk, then you should consider subscribing to the channel and pressing the bell icon. See you in the next one. Until then, peace.